Hello, this is Sam, and I'm going to be doing a different video here. It's not part of the 1942.2 series I'm doing with everyone else and friends. Hunter Joel, War Party, Lauren, Cobra 24, and of course our comic relief, No Limit. But obviously I did a video I don't know, I think it was a week or two ago, where I did a video about Detroit's Operation Barbarossa strategy, about what should Russia do, and it turned out what should Germany do, because Russia can hold quite easily for a very long time by doing that, because they can if they play it right, they can really hold for a while. They'll eventually lose, but that will give the Allies time. Now in this game, it's the first time I've ever tried to attempt siredblood's Cobra Kai. Now I've probably done some things wrong. Obviously you might think I've gone a bit north, that's just random units because the Russians have left that alone. I thought I might as well use that Italian tank and German infantry to wrap up stuff up there. But it's my first time ever using it in a proper game. So it's obviously I'll try and get a detail here. Here's the board in total. Obviously, I'm really getting back here. Right, so obviously Japan is really like dominating on the Pacific side, but if we're going a bit closer, they're really not. Britain, I'm actually using, again, another thing I'm doing for the first time is using Young Grasshopper's house rules. His tokens, his national objectives, and his fortunes of war, and Britain will be getting one of them soon, because the first token that will be acquired in this game probably will be Africa token for the Brits, and then I reckon it'll be the Moscow token for the Allies, but then, I don't know, not yet. Anyway, let me give you a rerun of what's happened. It's currently the beginning of turn 7 for the Germans. The Germans have got, obviously, the Italians have stacked the coastal regions. They've got 15 Italian infantry and a tank in Normandy. The Germans have only got 3 infantry in France. They've got 13 infantry in Holland. They've got 9 infantry, 4 artillery and 2 bombers in Western Germany for a counter-attacking force. They've got 13 infantry in Denmark and 6 infantry and artillery in Norway. Italians have got themselves 14 infantry, 3 fighters and artillery, and 4A and a bomber in northern Italy. Some of this is very weak, but if they attack, they could easily counter-attack. The 3 subs there from Britain, a convoy, and I'll get to that later. On the Russian side, the Germans have gone all the way down here, got all that money. It's turn 7 now, and siredblood did say you should be taking Moscow turn 6 or 5. So obviously they're very much behind there, and well, the Russians are going to reinforce it with 18 infantry next turn. So I very much doubt the Germans will attack, because the Russians have got themselves with 12 tanks and 5. Is that 3 red ships, I think? Yeah. So that's 18 infantry, 12 tanks and 2 artillery, and they've got another 18 infantry on the way. I think the Axis have lost, because if we go over to the Pacific side, it looks very good for the Japanese, and it is, but also isn't. Britain, I've used Middle Earth for the first time where it's properly got into as good as it can be, and it's been marvellous. The Brits are just a complete powerhouse now. With them national objectives, they're getting 40 plus IBCs every turn. If they save a bit, and they're going to attack that next turn. They've got so much stuff in Africa. They're starting to send stuff over to India. In India, they've got themselves 18 infantry, 11 tanks, 5 fighters, 4 mech, and 3 IAA. Now that's not going to be attacked for a very long time. Now the Japanese have got themselves 6 infantry, a mech, 12 tanks, and an AA in Shan State. And they've got the big air force in French Indochina, 2 tanks and artillery all pimped out. They've got 6 infantry in Yunnan, tanks all over China. That's all they're going to be shooting tanks every turn to get up to take India, which they will. But will that be in time? Will the Germans take Moscow, which will get them a token? Will the Japs take that? India, which will get them a token? And if they both do that, they might get another token with a 142, which will get them 3 tokens, which is, in the game what I'm doing, is going to be what you need to win. Obviously, you can also have a game day where it's like, I think, 10 hours of gameplay. I think that's what he did at Young Grasshopper. I think it's what Young Grasshopper did at his Invitational. I think it was 10 hours. It's been a while since it's obviously September, I can't remember. But I love these house rules. They really do balance it. Now, navally, you see Japan with their starting navy around in the Pacific. It looks pretty strong, doesn't it? And it is. Now, Anzac Japan didn't do only did a J4 attack, and Anzac got a lot of money, and they've presented themselves a carrier, 2 fighters, a battleship, 2 cruisers, and a destroyer in Caroline Islands. Now, they set up a bait for Japan. What they've done is the Americans have reinforced it with 5 destroyers, so the Japanese are going to take more casualties, and hopefully, see, the Japs, they've only got 2 destroyers. What we want them to do is get rid of them, so if they do take this, they're going to be having, we've left not much, the Americans will come in with all these subs and bombers, and then to finish it off, the Australians will come in with these subs. If they do that, the Japs not going to, because I'm not falling for that trap, but it'll get to a point where they'll have to do something because the Americans and the Australians will overtake them. If they do attack, the 7 subs from there will come in and finish them off. I thought with the Japanese Navy more or less done. Now the Americans then could just, they don't have to worry about the Pacific. If the Japanese start pumping stuff into the naval aspect, they're not going to be able to take India. So this is a close game. I think the Allies have got it, because America's now shucking 5 infantry and 5 artillery into here, while also building 3 tanks in Spain, and they're going to start building 3 tanks in southern France unless the Germans, which they can't do this turn, attack it. So what the Germans will probably do is center themselves in France with them, you know, a good, what is it? They could put 23 guys and 4 artillery and 2 bombers in France. No, they don't have to put the bombers there, and then they can, it looks like they just want to stalemate this Western Front, which they can't really do, but they're making a lot of money at the moment, the Germans. So they can also pump into the Western Front if they wanted to. They could build 12 tanks if they wanted to across all them borders. They probably won't do that, but they could do, and that'll put them on 72. I think they've got about 79 IPCs to spend this turn, so they could do that, but they won't be able to put any guys on the Eastern Front. I mean the Western Front. So, the Brits have 5 infantry and 4 tanks there. I mean, it's a great strategy, Cobra Kai. I've definitely not used it to its complete, utter advantage first turn. Now, this is the Cobra Kai that siredblood originally produced. Now, I know now he's had a beefed up version of it where it's a lot better. I would like to see if siredblood would ever consider making a video of that now, what to do, because I don't think it even involves G1 Russia anymore. I think it's I think it might do. I think that's only he did that because I watched General Hand Grenade's videos at the Invitational, and when siredblood was his partner, they really didn't do G1 a lot when they were the Germans. I don't think they did G1 at all, so I think that's what he changed it up. Now, I'm going to be doing another video after this that I'll wait for a bit. I'm going to finish off this game. I'm going to try and beat Middle Earth with Africa Corps and Calcutta Crush. So I'm going to do General Hand Grenade's Africa Corps strategy, and I don't know who invented the Calcutta Crush, but I'm going to use the Calcutta Crush. So by G4, India can be taken, and they can have sizable forces in Africa. And what they aim for the Germans is to start off here in Morocco and go all the way down there, all the way down here, all the way up to there, and all that to be Axis controlled. That'll be the aim for the Germans. And while all that's happening, they can attack Russia, and the main aim is all of this. If they get all of that, the Americans will force to come down here. Now, obviously, if they do, the Axis will have so much money, they'll be able to hold them off. So yeah, it wasn't a long video, but it's not really like last time what Russia do. It's just a showcase video, really. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Sam Kenny out.